Campaign Casters is a fantasy-filled, heavy player-populated podcast for adults. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Welcome, investigators, adventurers, and role-players to Campaign Casters, a high fantasy TTRPG podcast designed to introduce you to your fictional home away from home.
We are a heavy player-populated party of not adventurers, but investigators trying to make a name for ourselves in a big city, where this is a campaign run by two DMs and introduces a new 5th edition class known as the Runecaster.
My name is Nicholas Bailey, and I'll be your caster master and the player of Elksdor Vernades today. If you enjoy this episode, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Leaving a review really helps us get the word out and connect with more listeners who might enjoy the journey too. And your support means the world to us. Thank you for being a part of our adventure. Now, casters, please present your titles.
Hey, I'm Heath Chase, and I'm playing Sigva Lang.
I am Jake Taylor, and I'm playing Brine Smith.
I'm Adam Fox, and I'm playing Leo.
Hi, I'm Sophia Condit, and I play Lycan.
Hello, my name is Ari Bardak-Mitchell, and I am playing Gael of the House of the Solstice.
And I am Haven Hedgemaster Joseph-Lyon, playing Nissa Stone.
Without further ado, we present Campaign Casters. One episode ago, the group was against the clock. Brine was teleported to the magistrate to receive further guidance on the report. Once brought back, you went to the magister of the Pillar of Kjorum, where you weighed your options on trying to enter to speak with him. The DM, Nick, realized that he did not explain well enough and tried to get you guys back into the tower to safely transport you with no issue whatsoever. Then you got to talk to Zevris Dragorum after a class where you learned of his students, his perspective of Orn, and a celestial being known as the Archivist. With much inquiry and suspicion, you were asked to leave. With not enough information, you raced over to Sergeant Jenkins' guardhouse to learn revealing facts of the butcher's victims, and now you have a more direct route to figure it out. And to get the little cherry on top, you went back to the House of the Solstice to learn some clarifying facts from Iago, where he offered sanctuary to Brine if he ever needed it. Who would like to begin with session inspiration? Who already went? Raise your hand. I think Brine.
Hey guys, what the heck are we gonna do?
I am the Whisperer. No one wants a free
Okay,
roll?
I'll take it. Upon the teleportation into... Can you shut the fuck up? Upon the teleportation into the magistrate's office, Brine was obviously terrified of what was happening because he felt it, and in the little moments of disorientation, he genuinely thought that he was in a prison, and that he was being forced to serve a sentence in a jail cell, despite the fact that he was given this deadline, and despite the fact that that deadline had not happened yet, it had not come to pass. He thought that he was just really, really scared. And then when the magistrate was explaining that he could potentially get out of the deal, he doesn't really trust or believe it, because he had already gotten out of the fucking collar once and he's right back in it. And now that was, not a deal that got him out of it, but he doesn't believe that it'll all be A-okay even if he does solve this. The talk with the magistrate was just a very... it just doesn't feel real or truthful or like anything good will come of it at all. And that's where Brine was at.
I love it. Please take your session inspiration. Yeah. All right. So, you guys are now outside of the steps of the House of the Solstice, where you see the sun has started to set. It is not at a full sunset yet, but since Brine has not been teleported, looks like you guys have some time. So what we're going to do with this time is I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. What you're going to do is figure out your prime suspect, a secondary suspect, your motivations behind this, and then evidence to support all this. And what's going to happen to kind of just explain that you guys will talk about this in this 10 minutes, going over all the facts, details. Elksdor will serve as a fact checker just in case if there's...
AKA hint number 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
I see.
So
It would be him.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brine will be the one to deliver this report. So all information must go to Brine. Alrighty. Actually, no, let's up that because that would give all of you like 2 minutes of talking time and then whatever.
There's too many of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of you. All right, let's retract it. Let's go for 15 minutes. Okay. All right.
Take it.
Here we go. And we begin.
Oh my god.
All right. I believe our prime suspect is most likely the Magister, not the Magistrate, being Zevros Dragorum. Reason being, he has all of the things that... he has all of the resources to find how to conjure these things, as well as the means to do it. And we were talking about that one thing earlier.
The fact that he was so certain that none of his students had done it with a level of certainty, perhaps.
None of them.
You know, he had done it.
And he wanted to stick it out of
And he
him.
also
Yes.
did not like his Orn's political views.
Yes, and when we were talking with Iago mentioned, and this is what I was picking up on, that I believe Lycan was... We were talking about that you didn't... That I maybe caught on... was the fact that those tools that morticians use to carve the bodies can be achieved by somebody with a higher ranking, such as a master-level magic caster.
Expert or higher.
Is expert above?
Below.
Yes.
So expert or
true,
higher.
still true.
So hence he has the ability to go and request those type of tools, if that is something he wished to do.
And he
conjure a
could,
beast.
Yes, summon a beast. He could change his own form. Perhaps I'm not the most
At the
versed.
very least, he's enabling whoever's doing
Absolutely.
it. Yes, the knowledge. that
And
he has.
also because he has a fucking pillar that nobody else can traverse through as easily.
Unless they're a student.
There is
Unless they're a student.
a lot to hide. One could hide.
But the question is what is the clear motive? Yes, he didn't agree necessarily with Orin's political standings, but that doesn't mean that he was
might
going
just not have wanted
against
politics
it.
being brought back to
But
into
also,
school.
the other murders,
Could be.
Yes.
they all seem to have a through line here. Where's the page?
It has to do with the tariff and with and also with perhaps some connections to that liquid luxury, because there was Lillian who was killed, who was
But that could have been
linked
one of,
with
one of the
Cedar Song,
oath.
which is where the unveiling was going to be. I don't.
Yeah, but that one seemed to be an Oathbreaker one. Doesn't mean that it's not connected somehow.
Absolutely.
But the one with the waitress who
Laura?
Lara,
Yeah,
who would give private rooms. I bet a meeting happened. She probably heard something she wasn't supposed to.
absolutely.
And I bet it was a meeting between Orlim, who was giving the books to the Magister.
This could definitely be possible if she overheard something like that. Also,
Orlin gave books to the Magister, the Magistrate.
the Magister. So
Magister.
Zevros received the books from Orlin Tavish, who was found dead in his estate, retired gold leaf scholar. Once he had a lecture once on ancient history with arcane practices that were then given to Dragorum himself.
Is his name Zevros or Zevris?
Zevris.
Zevris. Sorry.
Okay.
And he was also the last person to see, oh my gosh, Orin.
Orn.
He was the last person to
Wait, is it Orn or Orin?
It's...
Orn.
That's a great question.
Because I feel like I've been hearing everyone pronounce it differently.
Yeah.
Orin?
I have it written down two different ways based on how
Orlin is
everyone's
someone
pronouncing
else.
it.
Is
So
it
is it
Orin?
Grey Wolf?
Yeah.
Yes.
Orn.
Orn.
O-R-R-Y-N.
Two
Not how I
R's.
spelled it.
Fascinating.
I spelled it like Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
And
But
yes.
also there was Gregor who supported the tariff.
Gregor.
He got killed, and then there's Dante, who was working on the book that
About the directorate who was
Yes.
supporting.
Yeah,
It
about-
all comes back to this and to people who know more than they should.
Now the question is, was it to save his own skin? Was it to help the dwarves to...
But I think
Go
the
against this, or
dwarves- I
what?
think the dwarves are a red herring. Like
I
he's setting-
agree
he's
as
setting
well.
the dwarves up.
Yes.
They're scapegoat.
Yes, the scapegoat.
Yes.
Yeah. And does evidence need to be physical evidence?
No, just information.
Yes.
I mean, if you do find any physical evidence, that's fine. But like,
Say,
But I
could,
don't think we have to know.
it's okay.
could you refresh my memory about this tariff you're talking about? I don't know what.
That's what Oren was working on.
The corrective tariff act was the one that was put into action, which is talking about adding 50% tariffs on all potion and concoction materials to deter drug making throughout the city itself.
Yes.
I mean, isn't
I wrote everything
But also
down.
depending on what the item is, it can be used for both potion making and conjuration magic.
doesn't magic schools
Oh,
also
yes.
dabble in potion work?
Absolutely. What'd you say?
Doesn't magic schools also dabble in potion work?
Perhaps
yes,
this one does not.
Conjuration, though.
It would limit what he was able to achieve, perhaps.
It would limit supplies if he's getting. I don't know why they would be using potions per se, but
Is
it
there a
definitely would limit it.
connection to this liquid luxury and this guy?
I think
not
I think he was
Lucian
very much against it from the. I mean, I don't know if he was against liquid luxury, but I mean, this tariff act, which was also is it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Elxador. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you believe that the liquid luxury, based off of everything we've talked about, has sort of been funding and steering Orn into this direction? Because was it not Veltara who was also in league with liquid luxury? Or did I get that wrong?
No, you got that right. I would say so. From the journal, that Lucian Veltara took Orn under his wing, and Lucian Karak was having this
that's
drug
the name.
project. Now, out of the other Lucians that Sergeant Jakins trust, Veltara and Karak are not one of them. So I would say they would probably be in leagues with each other and grooming Orn.
I mean, definitely, Kadak with making this new drug is getting beat by this tariff.
Absolutely.
I feel like he could be a great number 2 for us right now.
Yes.
Wait, say that again?
That
Lucian,
Kadak could-
Lucian
could-
Kadak, because he's making the new version of Liquid Luck,
Could be a secondary suspect since we
it
need
could be our
to.
secondary suspect because the tariff directly affects his drug making.
No, it doesn't. It supports him.
Yes, because
he's-
now all
he's-
of the
he's the one selling it.
All the efforts are going. He does not have the tariffs. Everyone else has the tariffs.
Mind.
Okay.
Yes.
But
I feel like Iago could be a good second.
I sadly agree.
Because hold on, I wrote it down. Iago's very suspicious. He's getting people's bodies to be resurrected. Either he is the butcher or someone else is doing the killing for him. Maybe like Zevris.
But there hasn't been any increase in killing since he's come in, and
he
it's
also
But
hasn't-
he came in,
He came in like
the
3
day
days ago.
after that Oren died.
But he's also
I'm
not
sorry,
doing
four.
resurrecting.
He came in like 3 or 4 days ago, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Iago Cross. So an increase in murder. It's not like there's been much time for that to happen anyway.
and
There has been a murder since he's come in.
I
Oren.
just think people haven't thought
No,
of.
Oren happened the day before.
Right, but he was here
He
already,
was
though.
instated
He was
because-
here, just not instated, but he was here.
And here's the thing: we don't know how long Iago has been within the city.
There's also Thorn Carrick, who was found dead at the House of the Solstice.
Yes.
The best way. Another thing was the fact that we couldn't resurrect the body to talk to Oren, and the best way to stop that sort of information from coming out is going to a place that has those rules on death and life.
He prevented us from talking to him.
Yes. If
You know what,
if there was
I
any
can
other
see
way
that.
to stop a
that
body
it
from
would-
being resurrected, it would be at the House of the Solstice.
Because if the body got resurrected, then he might have called out Iago himself.
Yeah. Or
Gale,
someone else.
or
All
Zephyrus.
right, everyone here, you're denouncing Gale's religion here a bit.
not the, I'm
Not the
just
Or not your
Person.
religion. Just the. I mean, you barely know the guy.
No.
You can't blindly put your
I-
faith into this new guy just because he's the head of your church.
Trust me, I do not. I don't feel as if I can have an unbiased opinion, so I'm removing myself from this aspect of the conversation. Yes.
I will just throw a chance out there of where my thought is if Iago is our secondary suspect.
How much time do we have?
5 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay, not
What I am thinking is if Iago is our secondary, the way that it could be ruled is if he is supplying and setting himself up to be asking for the ability to reanimate people, why would he not be going around and adding more killings to better show that these people are not being given the chances to serve back and provide community?
He was afraid to even go down to the body with us. He doesn't want to be seen doing any of this. You think he has time to go around killing whoever he wants, whenever he wants?
That would be the only way, though. That's what I'm saying.
Not to
If
say-
he's the
but
secondary
that's the
person,
thing
it
is
has
that
to be.
It's not like he has no moments of free time. He can do this.
Absolutely.
He can't go out and do it whenever he wants, if that's what you're suggesting.
And he also might be having priestesses. And
I
priests
just
doing it.
remembered a very important factor. When we were in the realm of Matana's knowledge,
Yes.
it had a very similar energy to the crystal within the church.
That's because they're both divine magic. That one is connected to Karmos, and this plane is connected to... What's her name?
Well, if they're both
Yes,
connected-
but
Yes.
what if he if we're going secondary? I believe
Yeah,
he's secondary.
of course.
He could potentially, with his class, be able to utilize that to conjure a beast that could kill someone for him.
Yes.
And all he has to do is then go to that body afterward and take whatever it is he's after.
I also need you guys to know, when Iago pulled me aside, he told me that I would have sanctuary in his church, blah blah blah. If I ever remove my collar, blah blah blah. I'm not doing that. But he also mentioned that he was from the depths.
So he has been in the city for some time.
Yes, but also,
Wait.
I mean, who are the kinds of people that are from the depths?
People who do sketchy things.
I mean,
And if the depths got unearthed after what we just did, some people would want to get revenge, and especially
And draw you in.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, I see. I don't trust the guy, so I wasn't gonna go to the church.
Okay,
If I
just
needed it.
to streamline. Currently, our primary suspect is Dragorim, Severus,
Yes. Severus.
because of his lack of agreement with political alliances, as well as this concoction and this tariff being placed that could potentially harm them in the grand scheme. He also has ways to hide all of his stuff, as well as all of the information that he that he did take from Orlin Tavish.
And access to the
and
tools.
access to Matana's tool and the tools because of the above expert level class. Our secondary person is Iago. What's his last name? Cross. Jesus Christ, I can never remember this dude. Iago Cross, because he has the ability to have those tools as well as potentially use the gem within the solstice, House of the Solstice, to potentially conjure a beast to work for him.
quick question: who out of all the characters, I know Gale, you're one of them, but who would have a really good memory?
Probably Leo. I just don't.
Leo?
I have
Adam.
a good memory in real life, and Gail's is probably
Can
even better.
I
but
have you
probably
two
don't.
roll a history check for me?
Alrighty.
Oh.
Oh, this is gonna be
Oh.
23.
23. Okay.
That is a 7.
Oh, okay, for me.
Gale, as you guys are, or as you all are talking about these tools actually look familiar to you when Iago showed, like, you know what these embalming tools look like. and you noticed from a little while ago in the Lazy House of Oddities in the museum section, there was a set of tools that was hung up on one of the shelves when you guys were talking about the Book of Fate.
I just remembered something. When we were in the Lazy House of Oddities, I hate to bring this up now since it's sort of away from anything that we're putting together. I saw those tools, the ones that, the embalming tools hung up on the wall in the museum.
So what you're saying is anyone could have had those tools if they just stolen them from the museum?
I suppose so.
And who is always in the fucking museum?
I forget his name. The awful god.
Yes.
Who?
The guards who
the
always
awful
go
god
in.
that Jenkins had to drag out. I wrote it down.
Wait, but how is
Private
that,
Hodge?
How is that related?
You're saying that's him?
I mean,
The privates who like to get their drugs
exactly.
and get high from
who
the
like
same...
to get their drugs and shit from there.
Which doesn't necessarily... Which they could be... I don't think...
Wait,
they
are we
the
completely
ones
changing
that
our suspect here? What's going
No,
on? What are we saying?
I don't think we should do that.
It's
those two.
It is just a comparison if there is a tertiary.
And also,
evidence.
it's another way that someone could gain access.
Get
we
the
have?
tools. We have none.
10, 9.
Oh,
What
shit.
evidence do we have?
Okay, I mean, all of the things we said, like that has to be.
That is a...
If it's not separate, we're fucked.
Or motives?
I've got stuff written down.
He's got some, that's all
Yes.
in there. I think we're good.
You got this, Brine. She's gonna tuck a flower in your hair for luck.
As this conversation is going down, you see the sun starting to make its way. It finally tips to the horizon. Nothing happens. What do you want to say?
Oh, okay.
Nothing happens.
Fuck you.
He forgot.
I would like to essentially give some kind of blessing to Brine with
yeah.
a flower in his hair.
Yes.
Like a first tier rune, maybe give him advantage on any select roll he wants. Does that seem fair to you?
Pick. First tier. Pick.
Or I could do like a blessing kind of thing where it's like a D4 to an ability check.
I would say you could do a D4 to... D4? Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's just on him, I would probably up it to like a D6. But
Okay.
you can
Like
choose
inspiration.
that or give him advantage with a ability
With
score.
select. Okay.
So like charisma, wisdom.
Advantage on a select charisma check until he removes the flower.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. Buff him up.
Gail's going to walk over to Brine and gingerly put a hand on his shoulder. I always forget. We're the same height, which is so not how it is in real life. But, and put a hand on his shoulder and say, "I'm sorry I ever alluded to the fact that you deserve to be locked up. That I don't really believe that that's just. Thank you for what you're going to do for all of us here. You're a good person, and I'm gonna give you bardic inspiration."
Oh.
Elxidor comes up. We'll get a drink after this, and he...
Don't say that, Elxidor.
He's
Elxidor, sounds like you're going to die.
not gonna die.
No, it sounds like you're going to die when
I'm
you
going
say
to
that.
die?
Let's get a drink after this. I'm gonna go. Actually, then we're all gonna die. Actually, and then everything's gonna be really sad.
I'm just giving him guidance.
Okay, never mind.
Guidance is good.
Is there... Because I know where he is technically now.
Yeah.
Like whenever he gets teleported. Is there a way that I could constantly cast message so I'm constantly speaking to him in his mind? Just to hear, just to get everything that's happening.
We better go sprint towards the magistrate. right
You
now.
can attempt.
We have exploited message so hard in this game.
Actually,
Nissa is not going to like touch you or anything, but but Nissa pulls out their bow and brings an arrow. It won't hurt, I promise. And releases an arrow, and you see it like lights gold and absorbs into your chest, and you now have jump for the next minute in case you need to run the fuck out of there.
There was a big window.
Which means you can, for the next minute, on each of your turns, you can jump up to 30 feet by spending 10 feet in case you need to get the fuck out. Just in case.
Okay. Just in case. All right. So let's get this straight, because this is very important. So prime suspect is
Zevris. Yeah, Zevris Dragorum.
Yeah, like we're just gonna go through it all together.
Yeah.
So prime suspect Zevris.
Yes.
Second subject
Iago.
Iago Cross. Motive.
I mean, plenty. There's, from Zevers, he didn't like Orin's politics, and the Corrective Terror Fact would add 50% tariffs to all potions and concoction ingredients, which would make conjuration and potion making a lot more expensive. And for Iago, there's just the idea, he is working on some kind of project with dead bodies or something to do with resurrection.
It's because he wants to allow reanimation.
Yes, he wants to allow
for all of his
reanimation.
stuff.
Yes.
And he didn't allow us to raise Orin's body, even though that's what he's literally been doing.
Oh yeah, add that definitely, that he didn't allow us to raise Orin's body for questioning.
That's more evidence.
It's a little
But
illegal.
I will write it down.
That's what we did talk about, though.
Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And
I was gonna say we have plenty of evidence stacked against both of them. I feel.
yeah, I guess you do.
Yeah.
Cool. It's like I designed.
Yeah, fuck. None of those guys are the ones.
As far as evidence goes, the tools that were used to kill Orin could be obtained by anyone with the magic level that the Magister is at, as well as, there's so much.
Yeah.
All the murders have some kind of connection. All the previous murders have some kind of connection to the Magister. Not to mention, they're all generally close to the Pillar of Dragorum and the House of the Solstice. And then Iago, he's from the depths, which is shifty, shady.
You're good. We'll talk about
You're
this.
not even
but
talking to the magistrate.
I know! I'm practicing!
Our poor viewers, it literally was like bam, 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 like all
I
of
know.
us making.
I did not write all that
Hey,
down.
if you guys, is this your first time coming to this episode? We just summed up this entire arc right now of what's going on. Oh my god.
I have the evidence and the motives, and I'm sure that the
Cool.
magistrate will ask very good questions if I'm ever led astray.
Of course, yes.
While this is occurring, should someone go to the Lazy House of Oddities and see if the weapons are still there?
Well, we went to the Lazy House of Oddities after Orin was murdered, so they were already put back.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
Well,
one.
we could see.
We were there
We could see if
recently
they've got
in
any
time.
traces of organic
And
matter on them.
we can also ask. We did not ask anything about them last time.
What?
We don't have to leave you.
Well, it's not like you have much of a choice.
Well, you can.
And you see Brine.
choice.
Whoops. Wait, it's not like you have much of a choice.
Cool. Could I ask everyone to please leave the table besides Jake?
Where are we gonna go?
You can come to my room.
Sleepover.
That's why I ran earlier, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't like still not.
Play some music or something. Yeah.
Die again, you'll do crap.
I'll come back as a robot again.
Beep boop bop beep boop.
You know what? It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, the first time this happened. Hi, Jake.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So, as that last bit of words you say, like, and you see that you're now transported into the magistrate's office, where you see him awaiting you this time. No paperwork, just him intently staring at you.
If I never get teleported again, it'll be too soon.
Do you have a good report to give yourself and your group the proper guidance to find the butcher?
I think we found a good amount of evidence for what you were asking for. Just let me know what you want to hear, and I can hopefully provide you with a substantial answer.
All right. And as this is happening, the doors behind you open, where you see Lucian McGundren come in with a very stern look, but he closes the door, kind of walks past you, walks up to the desk, turns around, and looks at you.
I didn't know there'd be someone else here.
Do not worry, everything here will be very confidential between us. So, Brine Smith, what has little guy Private Eye found for the butcher?
The person you're going to want to look into is Magister Zephyrus Dragorum. He has had many interactions with a lot of the previous victims of the butcher, as well as especially Orin. Orin was one of his students. As well as the fact that Orin was trying to get a corrective tariff act passed, which would make it so that way all magical items needed to create potions and concoctions would have a 50% tariff, making them more expensive to buy. And a lot of those ingredients are also used in conjuration spells, which is what Zephyrus, he's a conjurer, that's what he does. So it would make his livelihood a lot more expensive, and he had a very close relationship with Orin, so he knew about it as well.
He looks over to Lucian McGundren. Dragorum doesn't deal in potions, but that is a good lead. Who's your second option?
Well, I'd like you to think about all the people in this city, and out of all of them, who's the most shifty, the most shady, who came out of basically nowhere a couple of days ago, right when Orin was killed, and is now the head of the House of the Solstice. Iago Cross. He's a necromancer. I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but he's from the depths. After the depths got revealed to everyone, suddenly this guy from the depths comes out of nowhere, takes over a religious church, right after the previous high priestess left, all of a sudden, and now there's a dead body. Not to mention, he's a necromancer. He's looking into trying to resurrect these people. But when we went to question him about Orin, for some reason, he wouldn't let us resurrect Orin's body specifically. I think it's because he knew that if we were to resurrect his body, Orin would tell on him, essentially. Him and Zephyrus. Also, in the House of the Solstice, there are these embalming tools, which we discovered are the tools that were used to essentially murder Orin, and I'm sure countless other butcher victims, potentially. But those tools can only be handled by someone who has an expert level magic license or above. And Zephyrus has a master level license, and Iago obviously owns the tools. Not to mention, those same embalming tools exist in a museum called the Lazy House of Oddities, a few blocks down from here, and that's and my team is searching over there right now to try and figure out if there's any evidence that those ones were tampered with, to see if they maybe have like specks of flesh or blood or anything like that on them, because maybe those ones were the ones that were used, because those are easier to access. They're just in a museum. You just have to break in and get them, you know. The two of them together are dangerous, quite frankly, and I don't trust either one of them. There's a lot of evidence that we've found stacked against them. I think if you're going to be looking at anyone, it's those two. All the butcher's victims were found near-ish to either the Pillar of Dragorum or the House of the Solstice, and all of them had information of some kind that would out either one of these two people in the shady shit that they've been doing.
That is quite the evidence. He looks out over Lucian McGundren, where he is quite impressed with what your group has found. We'll be sure to go visit the Lazy House of Oddities to collect these tools, but just to reaffirm this, all the butcher victims, those precise cuts, that has all been through these embalming tools.
That's what we've essentially discovered. There are groups of bodies that have more precise cuts, and there are groups of bodies that have more, like, gnarly gashes. And based on past evidence, it seems like the gnarly gashes might be from Oath Wardens, yes. Whereas the more precise ones are from the Butcher.
Right.
And those precise ones would have been cut, those cuts would have been made with those tools.
Mm. Well, we're going to let you in on a little secret, Brian Smith. We know that the more Butcher ones, the more gruesome. They're also from the Butcher as well.
Oh, are they?
Yes. Well, if we release that to the public, it'd be hysteria. There are certain control measures that we have to ensure that, with now the entire criminal undercity afoot, we want to make sure that panic does not arise in Tolona. Good point. So, like I said to you before, and your party when you first arrived here, we had our suspicions about Iago, where we knew he was a problematic religion. So, this is where we're going to talk about your contract, Brine. So, Brian Smith, let it be known through this amendment clause that we'll be signing a new contract. Know that through this binding agreement that the power vested in me, Magistrate Rian Ularis, and let it be known that the individual known as Brian Smith, hereafter to referred as the signee, and he snaps his fingers and shows you this new contract, where this previous one starts to, you see that some of its words is fading, but still this text that you've never read before. You will freely enter this contract, where lawfully sanctioned under the Tolona Directorate and bound by arcane authority. You have the option to decline this if you so choose. This contract is immutable upon signing and shall be reinforced through arcane means. No alteration, amendment, or revocation shall be recognized unless granted through express written consent by me, where my judgment is absolute in all matters concerning this agreement. So here's the new conditions that will follow this contract. I'm going to give you exactly what you want, Brian. The Tolona Directorate shall recognize the signee's sentence as fulfilled upon the following conditions. You will serve as a private inquisitor for me and Lucian Magundran. You will carry out all directives issued by me without obstruction, delay, or deception. You will assist and cooperate with the investigation agency known as Little Guy Private Eye in their pursuit of the criminal known as the Butcher, and provide status updates every 2 days. Upon the official arrest of the Butcher, I will have no more than 2 days to release you from this contract. So once you find the Butcher, and I evaluate that this is indeed the correct person, you will be free of this collar. Once this happens, I will give you a rite of passage, promising you safe return to Thalacia through Straphos. You may request additional terms, though any alterations may change the original conditions I just told you. You are to follow 4 rules. These are bound to be unbreakable. You shall not commit theft against individuals of adept rank or higher. You will not kill any citizen of Conamanther, nor be the direct or indirect cause of death by external means. You will not trespass upon expert-level buildings, including but not limited to Adric Keep, which you are currently in, the Burning Spire Guild, and Cedar Song Manor. Then last, you shall not speak, write, or otherwise communicate details of this contract, its enforcement, or its conditions to any external party, including deities, entities, or persons of legal counsel.
I figured.
Side note, meaning that you can talk about this contract was made, this is a contract, but like Will's contract in Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I got a contract with this demon, but he can't say the exact stuff. So, your compliance shall be enforced through the mark of compliance, and you will refer to as your collar. Violating this will have pre-designated disciplinary actions in accordance with the rule violations. For this will also grant you a boon. In exchange for faithful and unwavering adherence to the terms set forth, the signee shall be granted the following benefit, which shall remain in effect until the conclusion of this contract. The signee shall receive a +2 bonus to its dexterity ability score and a +2 to dexterity saving throws. Should you act in defiance of this contract, whether by willful disobedience, negligence, or violation of its terms, the following sanctions shall apply, each escalating in severity upon continued infractions. Cursed of the Unchained. Next, the weight of oath. Third, the fading identity. 4, the hand of the damned. And 5, debt to the pit. This contract will be permanent, binding, and non-negotiable upon signing. So, here's the parts where, are there any terms you would like to add to this?
I'm not entirely sure that it counts as a term, but for my help with you basically being your personal assistant and what is essentially my freedom at the end of this contract, is there any way returning to home is dangerous for multiple reasons, but the biggest reason of all is that the ocean itself is turning grey. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's causing this issue, but before I go back, I'd love to try and fix it. If you have any way of... I mean, again, I'm not entirely sure this is a term, but when I'm released from this contract, I can go back home, but I don't know if I should. Do you know... It's more of a question than a term, I guess. Do you know what is causing this, how I can fix it, and if there's any way to fix it before the contract ends or before I go back home or something?
The council does not know about anything of this ocean. And they are in the works of recruiting all of the adventuring groups, the guilds, any available force to venture out of Conamenther to find out the cause of this. This is unheard of for all of Ventalor. So I'm not able to grant any safe sentiment towards you on what the Grey Ocean will be. Now, if it helps out, we have heard word that ships can sail. Strathos still is able to bring in fish, meat, exports, and be able to still import and export items from Thalacia. So far of what we know is that the ocean is still safe, besides its normal dangers. But right now it's just gray.
I see. In that case, I do have one term I might like to add. for my assistance. And upon the ending of this contract, I would love to negotiate the release of Kylie, Arn, Leon, and Kyram. For my former crew, known as the Night Marauders, from prison.
You know.
They can be under the same. They can be under house arrest. They can be under tight watch. They can be whatever. I just want them to be free. It's my fault they're in there. I have to get them out.
It's quite interesting you say that, Brine. Well, to give you more hope, currently it is quite ironic for the position that you're in and how defiant you were against the collar. Because the Night Marauders are in the same situation. And is working for the Burning Spire Guild through community service. And they didn't have much objection to this.
They're right there. This whole time they've been right there.
Mm-hmm. So, they have about... they had a bit more time. You had 7.5 months. They have about 10.
So they'll be out soon enough then?
Yeah, they have their own contract through the Burning Spire Guild.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to get them out sooner, but I mean, if they're gonna get out in a few months anyway, I don't think I should potentially get myself a worse deal, even though I don't know. I want them to be free when I'm free. But I understand they'll be out soon enough anyway. So.
Right. So, do you want to take this offer?
I mean, what's my alternative, eh? And Brian's gonna take whatever writing utensil was offered and...
Yep. As you sign the last stroke, you see that the text lights up in this red magic. And I will also say that when you appeared, that the magistrate has his horns visible through that. And just so you know, that your friends here are still bound by speaking of my appearance, just to remind them. So, here's what's going to happen, Brine Smith. You're going to take up this charge. And you and Little Guy Private Eye are going to investigate and find the butcher for us. I want you specifically to start spying on Iago Cross and learn what exactly he's up to with this necromancy. As for the rest, I'm sure you and your compatriots are able to look into the Magister. It hasn't been much of a problem here for Talona, but nonetheless, with conjured creatures you speak of, it is worth looking into.
With permission, there are certain members of my team that Gael will probably be against the idea of me spying on Iago Cross. Mm-hmm. Is there any way you could give me more distance I can travel so I can spy at night or something when no one else is with me? Or, you know, I mean, I'm not always with Gael. I'm sometimes with other members of the party, but I don't know how any of them would really feel about me doing. I mean, Lycan can probably be fine with it. I guess I could wander off with her, but then I have to talk about the contract. So, is there anything you can do that would allow me to do it on my own when no one else is with me?
No.
I'll do the best I can then. I can't promise much.
Oh, it's not about the promise making to me. It's if you want your freedom or not.
And I do. It's just going to be a little hard with the restrictions that I have.
And Renard's like, well, you better get to it then. And he snaps his fingers and you are taken back. Riker!
Huh? Oh, what? Oh, hey, Alexador.
What are you up to today?
Oh, I'm just working on my book.
Oh, I didn't know you were writing a book.
Yeah, well, now that we're starting to get some traction as an agency, I wanted to start growing our business out more, but I don't really know how to write this book right.
You don't say. Well, Lucian Moonwhisper has a friend that works with coaches and consultants.
Huh. Can he make me look like an expert in my field so we get more clients faster? It's kind of hard finding clients as a little guy in a big city.
Of course. Their name is Plug and Play Publishing. They help instantly position you as an expert, authority, and thought leader in your field.
Oh my gosh, that would be a big help. Where can I find them?
You can visit plugandplaypublishing.com to learn more.
Huh, I haven't heard of that street before.
It's not a street, it's a website. Get started now at plugandplaypublishing.com. On Discord, I sent you the entire thing just so that you can look at it.
Can you
and
just read the entire thing?
actually, he can.
Oh, okay.
I
Great.
won't look, so I don't.
Well, I
get
assume
spoiled.
he is gonna recap shit.
You're like, actually, Jake's going home. Actually, we don't need him for the rest of the session.
Yeah.
Start walking.
So I'll let you just read just to make sure that you go about this very carefully.
Please look away at him.
I'm not looking.
Go about. Oh, he's got
you
some
can only
sort of,
tell
like,
so
he can't
much.
say something.
new
so-
contract.
I'm letting my microphone.
Yeah.
No, I can't do that actually.
It's called an NDA.
Yeah.
The magistrate just made him sign an NDA.
Yeah. No, seriously, he just did.
I mean, yeah, probably.
So you see that Brine Smith, you guys are talking,
we're
waiting,
back in. Great.
talking, waiting. And as the sun finally goes down, the sun is no longer in the sky. Where now it's still like that red.
It's like, damn, they were
I
talking
thought you said the sun is gone.
Dude, that's a tragedy.
Yeah, you guys like, man, it's probably be a while. We should probably leave. And then
We
as
were
you
gonna
guys,
check out the tools and the. Oh, sorry, go ahead. You're talking.
I thought we were gonna.
No, fuck it.
Leo is
as you guys go
bright
to check
orange.
for the tools,
Yeah.
Brine teleports back
Collar.
with the collar on.
Well,
I'm like bright orange.
Sure.
Bright.
What happened? What
So
happened?
happened?
are we? Is Riker safe?
We need to go to the Burning Spire Guild.
The what?
The what? Huh? Where?
We need to go to the Burning Spire Guild.
What is that? You can't
I
just.
see it.
It's a guild.
It's next
thank
to
you
the-
so much,
It's
Axel.
next to the House of the Soul.
All right. Well, okay, fine. It's a guild that worships Tenoda.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, I yes.
okay.
Why? What happened?
Leo, I want you to come with me to the Burning Spire Guild.
All right.
But not the
All right. First,
glowing.
what
Not
did the
the
magistrate
red-
talking
You
about?
have
Are
to-
you
Did you
Brine?
tell- Did you give him his report? Did he like the information? Are we working on this case? Are we
He
forbidden
seemed-
from this case? What?
Okay. He seemed to be satisfied with the information that I gave, and I think we have to. They're going to look into the Magister and Iago. Okay, there's not much more that I can really say. That I can't really say much more than that. So
Insight
do
roll
we-
to see if this is actually Brian.
Go for it.
It's 19.
19. This is Brine. This is Brine Smith. But there are some things that you can sense magic related because of how the sigils across the mouth work. You see that instead of like sigils that come across his mouth, it's more like he just just can't speak. So when he tries to say when he can't speak about something, something's physically stopping him.
Did he make you sign something else?
can we go to the Burning Spire Guild?
To all of us?
Why?
Are all of us going? What?
Or just
We need to
you,
know
Neil?
something.
Are we continuing the investigation?
The investigation is being continued by. I mean, we're meant to continue as well, but they're on it partially. So
All right.
I need to go to the Burning Spire Guild. You do not all have to join me. Leo,
Do you?
I
If
want
Leo's
you.
going, I want to go with him.
Do you want us
That's
to
fine.
go or not? You're allowed to decide that.
I don't think all you should.
Okay.
Leo and Lycan, that's fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Where are we going to meet later?
And see.
Okay.
Well,
All right. Now this feels like an outcast thing.
a little.
No. It's not. It's personal.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I suppose I have things to do that might have a time limit now, thanks to things. So,
I can't actually puke, but I feel like I'm gonna.
yes.
All right.
She's gonna like do her little lavender calm emotions imbuing to help.
Oh, okay,
down.
cool. Use a rune mana point for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, are we going to see you guys later, Little Guy Private Eye, or?
That sounds right.
That's probably we all know that we are there. Like, yeah.
You sound uncertain, Brine.
Oh no, we'll be there later.
Wow, that delivery was very suspicious, Brian.
It was not that is a me thing, not a Brian thing. That is me.
Okay. It's Jake being stressed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I guess we'll go tell Riker the news, and we'll see you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Is there any way you can contact us?
And Brian just thumbs it at Leo.
As long as you're within 120 feet from me, I can
Oh,
do that.
that's not. That's far away.
But I don't.
I just need to take care of something personal, okay? It's not anything to worry about. I can't go alone because I don't get electrocuted, and Lycan doesn't want Leo to not go, so then I have to take them, and then Sig can come too.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys could just stay at one of the nearby pubs.
That sounds fine to me.
If it's all the same to you, Nissa and Elxador, I feel like I have something I need to do at the house. If you want me to stay with you, I can probably do it later, but...
Do what you need to do, Gay.
I think as long as someone out on the outside is
And
around.
I'll still be close in the house.
You can do it, yeah. Do what you need to do.
Okay.
I'm sure we can do this, whatever it is.
All right. Well, I'll
We-
see you all
Even though
later.
I'm scared out of my
We'll stay in a nearby tavern, and
body.
if anything goes awry, please let us know.
Yeah, I will.
All right, we'll see you later.
Be careful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we start walking over, and on the walk over, Brian is walking a lot faster than normal, kind of like playing with his hands a little bit, just generally appearing to be nervous and antsy and a little excited, but also very, I don't know what the right word is, very anxious.
Agitated?
Yeah.
Brine, slow down!
Sorry. Here. And he lowers his arm to just let Lycan grab up and climb up.
Okay.
So you guys head over to the Burning Spire Guild. If you look on your map, it is between Adwick Keep and the House of the Solstice. Okay.
Sorry, I was very scared.
The building itself, when you come to it, doesn't look like its intended actual house image on the map. But when you come up to this, you do find another blue slated building where it has these weird stone. No, wood with the what was the architecture, Ari? Tudor, very Tudor like architecture. That inside, or the building, its outward appearance starts to kind of look a bit small, but then you see like there's this central circular tower. Then at the very top, instead of maybe like where a roof cone would be, it's more like a chimney, and you see that there's still stuff. Now with these floors above for this like tower like design, that you can see people walking, but it's like, think of it as like a very thin, narrow, circular space that they're walking to. It's like so that they're on a platform of sorts. And then there's this smoke that comes out of it as if it were a chimney. So, you guys head on in.
Brine, what do you need us to do?
Just be here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to braid your hair.
Is it like a present? Do you just want us here, or is it like, do we need to be ready for something?
You don't have to be ready for anything. Just stand behind me and pay attention.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you guys come into this area when you finally walk in. It is like a guild hall. If for any of those were fans of any anime that features a guild hall, or like maybe the Witcher. Yeah.
Wasn't for you. Continue.
What did you do? Okay.
Just go real close to the mic and go, fairy tale.
That's exactly what.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that too. I was thinking fairy tale. Shout out fairy tale fans. So you walk into this guild hall, and it's very lively. You see a whole bunch of people where they're talking. They're like it is nighttime, so dinner's around being served, and tankards are being thrown about. You hear people being cheerful. You see other people kind of like beating each other up a bit, very playfully, and yawning as well. There are some tired folks.
Fear noise, but
Oh.
I also was yawning, but it was also a fear yawn.
I see.
I was scared.
And the biggest thing that you notice out of the entirety of this, like I explained, the outside appearance, when you're finally inside, you see that there's this grand fireplace that sits at the very bottom. It goes like a couple stone steps down where there's a very, I'd say like a mahogany, not mahogany. Yeah, let's go.
That is mahogany.
Good. Quote.
I don't even know what that's from, but that's
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Very good. But it flooring, and it goes into this circular fire pit that kind of like every so often someone will add fuel to the fire, and the smoke that rises up, you see that it's actually what a normal light that fire would its color. There we go. A normal like orange red that a fire would emit for its color. Instead, this time around, it has this more like pale white look to it. And as the smoke rises up, you see on the inside, just like Harry Potter's the Hogwarts hall where you get to eat all the food, you see a bunch of floating candles that are inside this circular space as the smoke passes through them. Exactly. And they all are lit with a very similar light to this fire. So when you guys come in, this bald water genasi man with tattoos on one side, he has this very this black and orange robe to himself. He would maybe look like, given by the looks of him, he looks more like the magical type, where could be a wizard, could be a cleric, could somewhere around there. And he says, "Welcome to the Burning Spire Guild. Can I help you?"
Hi. Do you have anyone who works here that wears one of these? And he lifts up his bandana to show the collar.
Roll persuasion.
You have your +10.
If you want to use
He
it.
also has such an inspiration, doesn't he?
Oh, I do have such an inspiration. You're so right. I will be using that.
Jesus.
From a 10 to an 11. Okay, +10. I'll use my boon. So that's what did you say, persuasion? That's a 23.
23. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Who the fuck are you?
I'm the last member of their team.
Well, funny you say that the only member of their team are the people that are currently working for us. So even though you have a collar, other people have collar in the city, buddy.
Where are they?
Not here.
Where are they?
I don't think you know quite the place that you're in.
I don't think you know who I am.
Who are you? And when he says that, all the heads turn in to focus on this conversation.
Leo goes bright orange.
I'm Brine Smith. I'm a part of Little Guy Private Eye. I am part of the Night Marauders. Where are my other members?
Ooh, you hear from like the crowd.
We got a badass over here.
Hell yeah.
All right, Brine Smith of Night Marauders and Little Guy Private Eye. Oh, okay. Little Guy Private Eye. Cool. So, just because they have their own sentence helping us out, you don't lay claim to being a part of the Night Marauders. Their sentence is with us. And by the judge of this, your sentence is with Little Guy Private Eye.
Makes no difference.
Yeah.
I got called separately. Where are they? And Brine puts his hand on the hilt of the sword.
I'm gonna bonus action charge my fists up.
You're really gonna come into the Burning Spire Guild, cause a ruckus, just for some people that you don't have the right to know where they are.
They're my damn team. They're my damn family. Ooh. I deserve to know where they are.
Ooh, but if they're your family, didn't you, abandon them from what they told us?
They think I abandoned them.
Yeah, family doesn't abandon family.
I did not abandon them.
All right, bud. Let me throw you a bone. You want to know where they are? Go to Wheelbarrow Aleworks Inn. Go find the fighting cage. And I'd say if you went around, the people there will be able to direct you.
If I win, is that you said?
You win a fighting round.
Okay. Good. Glad I didn't have to kill you. And I take my hand off my sword, turn around, walk out the building.
Cool.
I like to turn off my flashing fist real like, ooh, and then I walk right behind them.
I like to think through that whole conversation Lycan was braiding Brine's hair.
He was just like standing there staring at everyone still looking towards the door. He's like hasn't moved yet. And he just like slowly floats back and says, Mazel Tov! And then leaves.
Oh my god.
Oh, what a trap.
Okay, cool. We're going to jump over to Gael.
Did you have something else?
No, I'm just, what does any of this mean?
Oh, you're just stressed.
What does this mean for us?
Okay, great. So, similarly to our opening shot of Brine walking swiftly, Gael is walking very swiftly to the House of the Solstice because they feel like in their own way time is running out. So I'm gonna walk inside. Do I see anyone?
Roll a Luctor. Roll a D4 for me, please.
Oh.
And also,
Don't pull this.
this is what the guy looked like when you were talking to him.
Cool.
Wow.
Oh, I like that.
What a
I-
guy.
Oh, 6 fuck.
I rolled a 1.
Who my peeps?
Who your peeps?
Oh,
Where my peeps at?
it's the peep lord.
What is happening? What the fuck do you mean by that?
It's the
Alessio's there.
Deep Lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alessio, you see that instead of the waiting that he did last time, I would say this kind of happened simultaneously because there was that one conversation that happened. You guys went back and forth. So everyone is now in the death domain eating their meal. Alessio is with 2 other of the scribes that you know and are kind of off to the side where they are on the furthest most away from the death domain, and they're instead close on the pew side to the life domain, and they're just writing away. They're just having some conversations back and forth, just talking about oh, what a fun discovery, wonderful. It is all right.
So him. Oh, gee. Well, seeing a familiar face, Gale is going to... No running in the House of the Solstice, but gonna walk very swiftly over to Alessio and not give a shit about what they're interrupting. Alessio, odd question, I know, but have you seen Iago recently? Or know where he might be?
He's over by the eating with the others.
Right, of course.
Actually, I think I saw him go into his own office.
Right. Okay. Thank you for a lot of things. And then Gale's just gonna turn and walk away.
Gale?
Yes. They stop.
Come back here for a moment.
They walk back over.
I see that emotion has clouded your judgment.
Seems to be all that it ever does these days.
What's your goal?
Gale thinks if they want to tell Alessio, and they don't want to lie. So Iago promised me something that I've wanted for a long time, and I don't know if based on things that happened that I don't think I'm allowed to share, the time that I might get to do that might be very short. So I'm being a bit hasty.
Don't be too hasty. But as long as you know your goal, travel straight as an arrow. And he nods your head and is wishing you luck.
Gale smiles a little and much more calmly turns around and walks towards wherever they know Iago's office would be.
Yeah, you would know he would be in the sanctum, which is kind of off to the right side of the justice domain, where it is this lounge/office space where the leadership of Carmos, the bishops, and the high priest kind of commune, or talk about it at least. So, you know that usually it's required to knock on the door in case you're interrupting anything important, but you know that all the other clerics and priests are all eating dinner.
Mm-hmm. Gale's still gonna knock on the door. Not gonna barge in.
Oh, come in.
They open the door gingerly, peek their head in.
Oh, Gale, yes. Have you eaten dinner yet?
No, but I'm not hungry, so it's okay. They quickly turn and close the door behind them. Yesterday you said that I could come back today to talk with Carmos, and I'm afraid that their time is of the essence for things that I don't think I'm allowed to say. But if that is possible to do now, I would like that. If not, that's also fine. Not really, but I'm saying that it is, because that makes me feel like I'm not being a burden upon you.
You're no burden at all, Gale. Yeah, are you sure? Because Brelia made a really good stew tonight.
I can get some after. Okay. A late night snack. It's been a day, and I don't know if my stomach's even up to it at the moment.
Fair enough. Of course, we can do it.
Okay.
But understand it's going to be in the heart of justice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I know.
All right. So, Let me head quickly, and he kind of like starts to gobble up some food. I wish I could savor this more. Meet me out there. There's some things I need to prepare, and I can do that for you.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry for the short notice.
No worries at all.
Okay.
So, after some time, everyone is eating. Keep in mind that this is an empty space. You feel the Incantus gem hover above you. And as you... What are your thoughts collecting as you are now standing in front of the statue of Karmos, anticipating communing with her?
Gail is feeling a lot of big feelings because they've spent their whole life hearing about other people being reached out to by Karmos or getting to fully commune with her on the prosoponent. It's the thing that they've been like, at some point in my life, this is what I'm going to work up to being able to do. And then the chance of actually being able to do it has come up so suddenly, and they're just kind of terrified. And yet, there's a kind of resolve because they might have a sense of what they want here, but is afraid that they're not going to be strong enough to do it. So, a lot of fear, but some resolve as well.
I like it.
This is the guy that's like on our second...
Yep.
Yeah, so what was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you
just pointing that out.
This is spooky.
Yeah, but he's promising me my dreams, so, Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Isn't it cool when people give you the things that you exactly want?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if there'll be any consequences for that.
No.
Gee, I wonder.
You got a sword from Haven. I got
no drawbacks on that one.
Not a single one that I can think of.
No, just all benefits.
You got a new rune casting journal. That
hasn't been bad so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So, Iago, don't worry. I have some things for you guys too. Don't worry. You won't be left out.
I'm okay to be left out.
I already have enough to worry about in myself.
Adam's like, leave me out, please.
All right, so Iago ends up coming out where he's now in more of a... Like, he was kind of in, like, his retired clothes for the evening, but then he came back to his more normal garb. And as he's kind of preparing... let me know if this is too Christian for you. You can stop me mid-sentence.
I will. Trust me.
But as he comes up, he stands in front of Karmos, the statue, and offers you to a spot that is maybe 10 feet away, that is its own designated space to when people who go to the prosopone to try and commune with Karmos are granted access to. That is a space designated and very, what's the word? A very holy spot for this church.
Mm-hmm.
And as he kind of starts going, can you make a perception check for me?
I sure can make a perception check as my iPad has shut off and I need to know what my perception is, even though
It's a
maybe
plus 8, right? Like me.
You're so right. Thank you.
Damn.
16.
16. As this is happening, depending on how you feel with this anxiety, you look over to see that a majority of the people that from the church are just kind of looking over in this like awe and be like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, some of them are flabbergasted, some of them are just like amazed, be like, oh shit, like maybe they've never seen this process before.
Yeah. And Gail sees that and for a moment is like, what if I just ran and then went, no, I've got this far.
So, Iago, as he gets ready, you see that he starts to, before we begin, please state the domain you worship, Karmos.
I worship the justice domain.
The justice domain. And you see from just like that magical strands from the shards of the Incantus gem starts to come down as he's channeling the magic of it. And he looks at you and he starts to use this golden light that shines around you and starts to swirl. And he starts to begin chanting the very sacred phrases to grant you access to the prosopone. Let's Carmos bear witness, the matriarch of justice. You let faith guide your hand. I, Iago, cross send you to the prosopone. In Stranua Bay. And as this happens, the light shines for you, and you feel this yourself become a golden visage of Gael. And how do you imagine the plane of Carmos to be?
I didn't think that was a question that I was going to have to answer.
The actual plane of Carmos.
Oh my god, what? You should have let me prepare for
please.
this, Nick. What do you mean I have to tell you?
Yeah, oops.
Okay. Well, time to, cook.
So for Gael's envision of Carmos, what does a plane dedicated to her look like to you?
When Gael has thought about this plane for so much of their life, they expected to be this massive, grand, perfect place that's like the House of the Solstice, but even grander and more perfect and more infinite. But as they move into this space, it is almost, it's much like the gardens of the house, where they have always felt the most safe, but greater and more flourishing. But as they look up, it's not the Ventalor sky, but this sort of expansive space galaxy with these trails of white and black and gold, almost moving like the Northern Lights, I think. That's how it is for them.
You see that you arrived to this place exactly as you described, as this is what you think Carmos would surround herself in an environment of life, death, and justice. But specifically for you, this is a branch of justice of herself. And as you start to make your way, you travel around for a bit. You don't see anyone in the horizon, anyone nearby you. And it takes some times where maybe there's confusion on why you don't see anyone yet. Make a perception check.
Okay. That's not bad at all. 24.
There's a point where you maybe come to the realization that maybe this spot where you're at is just the entryway, and you have to go find Carmos yourself. And you head off. And in this journey, as you're going through this plain, you come across this section where there was these hedges that kind of grew up a bit, and it brings you into another courtyard. Like, as you turn the corner for it, you see a tall figure standing in this clad robe woven with strands of silver, gold, as if it were emanating life and death, day and midnight. And this person is fully covered. It has a shoulder armor piece on the right shoulder and has this pearl ornate mask covering the face of this individual. You can't describe any other details of this person, but it looks almost like polished obsidian, reflecting of everything but yet nothing. And this person is holding a tome in one hand, and you see that it closes, and it looks towards you.
You see Carmos?
Yes.
He has a very calm but measured gravity to his voice.
Faith alone is not enough. Knowledge must precede belief. Oh, knowledge must precede belief. What brings you to talk to Karmos?
It's a question that weirdly, suddenly Gale doesn't know how to answer. This was always like the highest wish, and one they didn't expect again to obtain for a long time. But as they're sort of have their brow furrowed, the answer kind of crystallizes in their mind. I seek her guidance on the next stage of my journey to find out who I am.
Next stage. Quite interesting. What do you believe justice to be?
I believe it is the thing that maintains goodness, righteousness in the world. It means that people are protected and helped, and when wrong is done, it makes it right again. It purifies the world of evil.
And who determines who is evil?
Well, gods like Karmos, for one. Perhaps your heart, I think, as well.
This is where you're wrong. Your heart does not determine who is evil. Truth determines who is evil. Karmos herself is able to bring upon unbiased judgment. But for you,
you see as this conversation going, the book that he set the book that he sets on a table. You see that right there before. Maybe you didn't notice before because of this figure before you, but you do notice that there is a judgment scale that is sitting on there. And you see that through this conversation, you see that it starts to teeter.
So, let me bring this to you. Did your heart tell you that Alexei was evil?
No, I mean, no, not evil.
Then why did you kill them?
What?
When you were in Fortune's trunk, and you casted the Shatter spell, you killed Alexei.
Gale doesn't know what to say. This is news to them. But I didn't know that. I didn't mean to. I wanted to protect my friends.
Protection for your friends is a worthy cause, but to take a life is not yours to determine.
But I didn't know that.
It is why you must seek truth, to enact true justice.
If that makes me unworthy now, what... May I ask what it was before?
Worthy of what?
Speaking to Karmos, being reached out to by her, anything?
It is quite interesting. Usually, I am the one to determine if you are worthy or not. And you are the first that Iago Cross has sent to here.
Mm-hmm.
You have some learning to do, but I assume Iago Cross has good intentions.
I hope in sending me, I'm not so sure about all of it.
Well,
I was going to ask Carmos, but
Well, I was the one that sent Iago to the House of the Solstice.
Oh. I'm sorry I never asked who you are.
I am Atlas, the Obsequious, champion of Carmos.
I thought that might be the case. Iago, he's different. He has different ideas about things. Did you approve that?
Of course.
And did Carmos tell you?
Yes.
Okay.
Conviction without wisdom is arrogance. Come back to me when your faith is not blind. And I will leave you with a question to ask yourself for the next time we come to meet. If you wish to commune with Carmos, I will ask you one question. If justice is blind, why does it listen?
And as you said these words, he opens up his book, and you see that the plane itself starts to kind of like shift a bit, and where a very familiar visage of the courtyard of the church of, or the House of the Solstice kind of comes into view. You see that you're kind of then placed into all of the sky. The galaxy starts to go away, where it looks now you're back in Ventalor. But then as this happens, you are now like, you didn't come from that space. That's not where Iago sent you, but you appear there nonetheless.
Wait, where am I?
You're in the courtyard of the House of the Solstice.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's Ventalor. I'm like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
So true.
Gail just stands there for a second. And realizes they didn't get to ask Carmos what they wanted, and yet their question was answered. Gail is going to go to their dormitory, and they are going to start packing.
Okay, let's jump to Elxidor and Nissa.
Did you think that was gonna be my answer, Nick? Fuck you.
Yeah, get him.
Yeah, it's personal.
Get him.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's your fault.
It's your fault.
Well, Nissa, let's go to the wheelbarrow arrow works and in, yeah?
I'm here with you, aren't I?
Yeah, yes, you.
Oh yeah, we are here. It's just like, wow, the power of jump cuts.
Nissa puts their front left arm and hand up to their face and kind of rubs their face down.
I love it. Cool. And when we come into this is a tavern. This is an inn. All right, we can recover.
Truth.
Too bad. In arcane wise. Thank you.
I was like looking in the camera, and Nissa's like, "What are you
Nissa continues to like look around.
So what happens is that once we enter the building of Wheelbarrow Aleworks and Inn, it is this lavish, like really fun tavern that has a lot of vibes. There are bards playing in like center stage, where when we come to a balcony at the very top. There's like a little place where the host can seat you down, but you're on this balcony that has tables and chairs overlooking there. You see people just hanging on the railing, cheering their tankards in the air, like saying encore, encore. And there's a staircase that leads down to this to the main area of this tavern, where there is a dance floor in the middle that acts as like a center stage that the bard group is playing on. There are tables surrounding it, and on the opposite end, there's this long like kitchen that acts as like a bunch of grill. Like all the food is being prepared in front of the people and the staff members, as like there's a soup kitchen, there's a grill section, all this other stuff. And we enter in on the top, and there's a host like, hi, my name is Nick. I'll be your server today. How can I help you?
For those of you at home,
I think this is an OC.
Nick is
I'm a server.
Nick is actually a server.
This is actually awesome.
Yeah, I'm a hobgoblin.
You just randomly decided to tell us that.
No. He is a hobgoblin. I didn't specify.
We can see that.
Yeah. Just 2 for today.
I believe so. Yes. Is it all right if I bring her in? And I point towards Annika, like 6 feet tall, up in the.
Whoa.
Is she an emotional support?
If not, it's all right. I'll have her wait outside. I didn't know your stipulations.
Let me check. And he's like checking like the server book, and he's like, you know what? I got a place I can open up to a section that might be able to. Is there a way she can like shrink, or I don't know, like kind of just be able to go through? No.
I mean, she's very agile.
Okay. You see this little spot over here, and he points off to like the left side on the bottom floor, where there's like a good amount of space that has like this enough space where it could probably fit Annika, but it's maybe just like other space where they put chairs and other things to move stuff about for the center stage. Would she be fine there?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Pets are allowed here. Cool. Come on in, and I'll sit you down with the menu, and he brings you down, and he sits you there where Annika kind of sits.
You see as Annika like slinks up and down, you see the fur kind of like jostle here and there as she goes down the stairs following behind. Her tail like smacks against one of the tables and then like corrects immediately as Nissa turns around and gives like a really like closed stare, and Annika sits up nice and tall and brings her paws together.
I love that. There are some people that, as Annika passes by, is like, ooh, want to touch the cat and try and pet Annika. Whatever consequence.
As they try and pet Annika, they just randomly see one of Nissa's hands come out from the fur and smack their hand down.
Oh, sorry. This big fluffy cat. So you two come down, and it's actually like a bigger table. That maybe a couple more people could fit, but it's just like, since Annika was there, it's like, your guys are going to get this table because all that. So, he's like, well, I'll be right back, guys. If you want any waters, drinks.
If it's all right, I would like some wine. Do you have wine?
Oh, we do have wine.
And milk for her. And you see as Nissa points to Annika.
I got milk. I think we have a bowl somewhere we can help out with that.
Thank you.
Cool.
Well. Look who decided to show up to the bar again.
As Nissa sits down, and Nissa like looks over to Alexador and puts two of their hands up to like slight the gaze away.
Do you know him?
What? No, who?
Yo, dude, there's like a.
Hey, yo, Barry, who is that?
It's that pretty lady that good old Siggy likes.
Oh, that's the one that was with Siggy, eh?
Yeah,
Hey, God, I didn't know they was talking
like that?
Barry, how are there more annoying people like you?
I don't know.
Hey, what's up? I'm Larry.
Of course you are.
I'm Derry.
Of course you are.
Derry, Larry, Barry, DLB.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then there's Kevin. I'm Kevin.
I don't know where they came from. They just, Oh, yeah.
Barry, what did you just say before you introduced your two friends?
Hi, pretty lady.
Oh, what was attached to the pretty lady part?
Oh, you're fucked now.
Another server walks by. Gentlemen, leave them alone. They're paying customers. Come on, move it. Move it.
Customers do.
Oh, yeah, we paid
I've got a drink right here. Look at this. This is one of them drinks.
All right, go sit in your seats. We got a princess here. That doesn't happen all the time.
Oh, shit, I didn't know she was.
Whoa, you got any money to spare?
Is this news going?
How the fuck did you know that?
Excuse me.
And then Nissa wakes up.
That's not known information.
No.
Okay, great. Then never mind. I didn't say that.
Princess.
This random waiter just knows.
Maybe it was like a term of like.
Yeah.
We got nobility over here. Come on.
Nissa just feels Annika nudge you, and then you wake up and no one's in that booth.
Oh my god.
All right.
It was a dream.
But if everyone would like to check the Discord, in the maps, I sent a menu.
Nice.
So yes, we do. We should.
But I'm not gonna be able to eat.
No, we're low capacity
Having a
food.
crisis.
I don't.
I'm gonna
You
cry.
see a white.
Well, if
I
you,
do not have wine.
it is
I
all
do not have
right.
wine.
If you do not have wine, I guess I will take the spice pear brandy, please.
Will do. Good choice. A lot of people like that for its pears, because now around. I'll get the drink.
Thank you.
You see, like, as he was saying that, like, Nissa's eyes just, like, were just staring with, like, the gold flecks, like, slowly getting brighter.
Yeah. Nissa, he's trying his best here. Servers work on tips. You should pay at least 25% for. Yeah.
I apologize, Elxidor.
It's okay. This has been a very stressful day for all of us.
Absolutely.
And apparently Brine for having wanted to go to the Burning Spire Guild. I mean,
glad we were invited.
What do you think that's about?
I don't know. I just hope that. Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he trusts us. I mean, I know me, you, and Gael haven't been the most trusting for him because, I went to uphold the law. He broke the law. I'm not really sure what. Gael, has some differences with Brine and Justice.
What are you getting at, Elxidor?
What exactly is your not connection with Brine?
He's foolish and arrogant, and he acts on impulse. He reminds me of me.
Oh, so you yourself are distancing yourself from Brine? Because of that?
I've seen the path that he walks, and it doesn't really lead to anything.
Well, are you in a contract with, a political official somewhere back at Dwadana?
You see as Nissa kind of, smiles for a second, and it fades.
Not insanely different.
All right. Well, I'm sure that, Brine's trying to figure his way through and...
Are we friends?
I would say so.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Oh. What do you mean, why not? There has to be a reason of why we're friends.
Because I consider you someone very close to me. I
haven't said anything to you.
So?
We've said maybe 20 sentences?
So why?
Because I see a similarity between us and I respect you for the protective nature that you've had for everyone in this group.
Protective nature?
Are you saying that you're not protecting everyone here?
Well, I mean, I don't want anyone to be hurt.
Right.
They like cross their arms, thinking about it.
I mean, you know, from what you've said before, you trusted, at least, well, maybe not trusted is the word for it, but you decided to divulge that information to Gael and I, and not to the other members of the party until it became a relevant thing that the magistrate revealed. But I assume there was some type of trust that you gave to us.
I have never experienced the ability to tell someone else something and it not be used against me. And I think for once I just wanted that.
And you have that from me, Nissa.
But you don't want anything in return?
Absolutely not. My goal is I want to be someone to help the city, to explaining about to let you know about the city here. Zillionac is the slums compared to everyone else. They look down upon us. You've seen, and I'm glad you stood up for me when you did, but the Talona gods, when it's a slur for us. They're like, just to look down upon us, that we're nothing.
Yes.
And I don't know what it's going to be like with the depths and the whole criminal underground now, but I decided to better my community. And as a child, I created this garden and place where people could get fresh produce and fresh ingredients and have a place to come to where we are reminded that we are here for each other in this district, and that we, even though everyone else outside seems to dislike us because of who we are, we know together that we're all family. And I want to bring that sentiment to this city.
Sounds lovely. I'm not the Prince X.
You're not?
As Lycan said, it's just a title.
So,
not actually royal.
Then why did you say you were Prince X before?
Because that's what she calls me.
Who's she, Nessa?
My political
magistrate. Oh. Elxidor has no clue what to say, but if he'll just hold out his hand to try and provide you some form of comfort if you allow it, or
I think Nissa puts their pinky next to Elxidor's hand.
He doesn't close his hand, anything like that. He just lets it be. I'm sorry.
It's not your thing to be sorry for.
True. But is there a way that you can get out?
Not really. I don't have a physical color like Brine does, but if I don't want to be running away from Oath Wardens for the rest of my life, it would be a terrible pain. And it wasn't even my choice. So, there's that. So, when you ask, why do I not like Brine? I am him.
I see. Yeah. Well, That's fair.
To be honest, I haven't really gotten to talk to anyone other than Annika for a long while.
Yeah, well, we're all of us are here together. If it helps you out, I'll be here for you, Nissa.
Thank you, Oxidor.
Of course. And as this conversation kind of just, there's this contentment between us. And you guys, little crew, you make your way to Wheelbarrow Aleworks and Inn. You guys enter in.
I like to think that on the way over, as soon as we exited the Burning Spire Guild, I went, Leo, contact everyone. Tell them where we're going. Let's go. Let's go. And then,
Well, are we within range?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
Gail would have been within range. I don't think.
As soon as Nissa gets the message, they move their hand away from Oxidor.
Hey, so we're going to the Wheelbarrow in case you're not there.
We are there. Yeah,
What?
Here, we see you. And you look around to see Elxdor waving.
Oh, good.
They're here. Oh,
yeah. Hey, hi, my name is Nick. I'll be your or I can get you to see it.
You fucking like push him out of the way. I toss him a gold coin. On the ground.
Yep. Okay. Cool. You looking for someone?
I walk right past it. I go straight to
Okay.
Elxdor and Nissa. Oh, okay. Good thing you guys are here. Where's Gail?
Back in the house.
Oh, there's no time. There's no time
the
now.
solstice.
There's no time now.
Yes.
We need to find the fighting ring here.
There's a fighting ring
Yeah,
here?
there's a fighting ring here somewhere. Do you know?
Oh yeah.
Why would we know that there's a fighting ring here?
I don't know. We're here.
Hey,
I'm
Nick, where's the fighting ring?
I'm just trying to fill you in.
Roll a perception check for me, Brian.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
Okay.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
I would say
16.
Did you just walk?
Yes, I did. I would say, Gail, that since the Burning Spire Guild is so close to the House of the Solstice, Leo would be able. So you are aware of that.
Yeah.
Do
I'm aware.
Do what you will with that.
That's what I intended when I said when we
Yes.
left. I told Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
22.
16.
16. Okay.
Did we want Leo to message Gail? Yeah. I think okay.
That was the
because
intention.
I didn't know if we wanted to because
Brian wants everyone.
More so,
Brian could be there, but don't leave me out.
Brian wants as much backup as possible.
Okay. Leo was thinking of the fact of like Gail went to the
Backup
House of the Solstice alone, which made me think, oh, they want alone time. They don't want to be interrupted. That's what originally what Leo was thinking. But if you all saying that, he'd be like, okay, if they're upset, it's not my fault then. No. But I send a message like,
Hey. What'd you roll?
13.
13.
No, I rolled a 9.
9. Cool.
22.
I would say for you two. Are we rolling? Did we roll? Is Nissa and Elxdor rolling?
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't rolled, but I will.
Oh. Go Elxdor. That's a.
I lied.
That's a 14.
nice.
What happened to him? He died.
12.
12. Lycan, you are looking around this area, and on the first floor, your eyes are looking. You're looking this way. A whole bunch of people. There's the bard group singing. They're actually pretty good. Pretty awesome music, I would say so. And there are the chefs cooking right in front of the group that's dancing, and there are other people just kind of like cheering along, singing along. And for you, you notice that there's this big Goliath man on the opposite end. And he just has his arms crossed, and he's just it looks to be like he's just standing in front of this door. And there. For you, Brine, you actually recognize this individual, as this was a contact that you and your group would frequent with, and know that he is a member of like the criminal underground from what you know in the above city of Conamanther. You know his name to be Udokul Leox.
Doku?
Udokul.
Dokul.
Udokul.
Udokul.
Udokul. What a
Love
name.
that fucking name. That rocks.
Yeah.
What was the last name?
Leox. Leux.
Leox.
And as you guys spot this, you then again hear the doors open to the beginning, and everyone cheers.
and you're like, huzzah! And as you look up, you see the brass bears enter in, and everyone starts cheering for them. And that is where we are going to end this episode.
Oh my
god. Oh my god.
No dairy.
Hey casters, we wanted to give you a big thank you for listening to this episode. We are excited to continue the story of this party and share this world with you. Please check out our socials on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube by searching up Campaign Casters. No spaces, one word, Camp AIGN Casters. So please, turn your notifications on for Mondays because we are releasing our character art. Make sure to hop on over to Instagram and TikTok to see our characters in all of their glory once a week. And once everyone is released, we may even drop a poster of Little Guy Private Eye. So, stay vigilant. And thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd really appreciate it if you guys left a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. It helps us reach more listeners and keeps the investigation going.
Our theme song is Nobody's Hero by Chronophobia. A big shout out to them for allowing us to use their beautiful music. You can find them on all music platforms, including, but not limited to, Apple Music, iTunes, and Spotify. And if you haven't already, listen to their new album, The Path. I personally have been loving every second of it on my way to work and back. Additionally, if you haven't already, check out our documentary. That's right, our own documentary. Rolling the Dice is officially on YouTube. Shout out to our friend Brandon Pierce Media for producing it. You can find him at brandonpiercemedia.com to book him today on your photography and videography needs. Our players for this campaign are Heath Chase as Sig Valang, Jake Taylor as Brine Smith, Adam Fox as Leo, Sophia Condit as Lycan, Ari Bardock-Mitchell as Gael, Nicholas Bailey as Elxidor Vernates, and me, Haven Joseph-Lyon as Nissa Stone. Our next episode will release on May 9th, and don't forget our after talk show Arcane Recovery, which comes out every 2 episodes. That's right, every 2 episodes. Episode 7 will be coming out on May 2nd.
Until next time, be careful adventuring, and if you're tired, come back home.
gamers. Fuck. Countrymen, lawmen, D&Ders, the gods they serve, gamers and gooners alike. This is the time that Larry, Barry, and Gary, but let's not forget Kevin and the future Gary, will leave. And this is their story. Though it started out while they were mere mortals in the land of Middle Earth, which is different than Middle Earth. They began as young artisans and followers of the Leonard DiCaprio. Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. The gorilla does not fall far from the dragon. Ah, yes. So now we continue on beyond what we know, and further forth, beyond what we see. Holy shit, that fucker died. That dude just got fucked on by Annika, goddamn. Now, on to scene 24. Scene 24 is a brilliantly written scene filled with strife, action, and uncomfortable tragedy. Elxidor and Nissa order some food. Though they seek comfort, they strive for storytelling. Sucks for him. Anyways, let's continue on with our story.